Do you feel that social media platforms can be used in an educational setting?
I think there are some interesting things you can do, and kids do just genuinely, and so do adults, enjoy using Facebook and interacting in that way. And I do know of quite a few teachers who've set up Facebook sites where they've created a fake account, like a Miss whatever account,
Yep.
and they can either talk to kids or add them as friends and provide them with extra homework and remind them of activities.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a good way for it to work, but then you have to get the kids actually wanting to engage with you on that platform and willing to share their kind of Facebook world with you. But I think, and I do know there's a lot of stuff out there for getting kids to use their mobile phones or Twitter or something to send an answer to the front of the classroom. So if you're doing like a test, instead of giving everyone a piece of paper, you ask a question and you say, if you think the answer is A, you text this number. If you think the answer is B, etc., etc., and then it comes up on the board as a poll. And you can actually say, okay, well, the correct answer was C, and only 10% of the class got that right. And that seems to actually really engage kids when they do it. But again, it takes some setting up, and it's not something that you can just kind of do on the fly. You've got to have it quite prepared. And then there's always the issues of, my phone's not working, or I don't have Twitter. And I think the biggest issue with using social media in the classroom is that kids then start to associate classroom with, I can use Twitter, I can use Facebook. And it's really hard to stop them then going onto their own Facebook and just posting fun things. So it takes a lot of teaching to draw the line between when are we using it educationally and how should we use it, and how do we just use it in our usual lives. But as a final comment, perhaps that's a useful conversation to have, to then talk to them about what they should and shouldn't be posting on Facebook, and actually bringing Facebook into the classroom and accepting that it's a huge part of their lives. And if no one else is teaching them responsible use of internet and social networking, then probably someone should. And the last thing I'll say is that I think we make a lot of hoo-ha about the fact that we're using more ICT in our classrooms and that we're teaching in a modern way. But if you're still teaching kids the same strategies and the same thinking techniques and using the same ways to get, to have outcomes, if they're still running an essay but they're just doing it on an iPad or a laptop, then I don't think there's any inherent benefit. And I think that if we're going to use ICT in the classroom, it should be in a more revolutionary way than it actually gets used at the moment, because there's amazing things you can do with ICT, but most people just teach the way they've been teaching for 50 years. They just use PowerPoint, or they use a blog entry instead of a handwritten diary entry and call that modern teaching.
Okay, cool. Thanks.